Tailbone pain after you deliver is debilitating, so I just wanted to make a quick video talking about my experience. I'm making this video because I've had so many people that know me reach out after they have babies who have damaged their tailbone, and they know that happened to me, and I feel like there's not a lot of information about it. So I'll give you a little backstory and talk about my experience healing from tailbone pain after delivering. So I had my son in March of 2022. And going into my delivery, I knew that I didn't want to be laying on my back. That is one of the worst positions that you can be in when you deliver. Highly recommend looking into it. I wanted to give birth either squatting or on all fours. However, I went into labor in the middle of the night. I was so tired and all I could do was lay on my side. And they say that laying on your side is a good position to deliver. However, that was not my experience in hindsight. So I was on my side with a peanut between my legs, and I'll add a picture so you can actually see how it looked. And I was just so tired. I was trying to sleep in between contractions, but that was the position that I was in when my son was born. Now, after my son was born, recovery was incredible, and I think this is due to the fact that I didn't have any sort of drugs. I would rather go through 8 hours of pain and then a really easy recovery versus maybe less pain throughout those 8 hours, but a potentially worse recovery. So recovery was absolutely fantastic. Right after he was born, I felt like myself again. I felt really good, except I had absolutely debilitating tailbone pain. Side note, my feet, I got plantar fasciitis from gaining and losing weight, I think. I got it throughout both of my pregnancies, which I'll dive into a little bit more if you're interested in another video. Plantar fasciitis caused by pregnancy. So I had that, but also my tailbone. I couldn't sit. It hurt. It hurt to sit. It was miserable. And so a couple days after having my son, I saw a doctor because that's not normal to not be able to sit and for your tailbone to hurt that much. And the doctor referred me to a physical therapist. So within 1 week of delivering, I was seeing a pelvic floor physical therapist. And she gave me some exercises and we were trying to get to the root of what happened, but there wasn't a clear answer. So I continued to do physical therapy for about 2 months and it did get a little better. I could kind of shift my weight and sit on my side a little bit. So I did all my exercises. The goal was to build up my glutes and try and target that lower back area, but I don't know how much that actually helped. So a few months passed. I think I got used to the pain. It definitely did get a little bit better, but I could just feel that my tailbone had shifted. It was a really weird feeling, and I felt like at different points throughout the day, it was facing different directions. So I think it may have broken or was fractured because I got an MRI about a year later because I was still having pain after a year. And it showed that there was damage to my tailbone at some point in my life. So we don't know if it was from delivery or was it when I fell down the stairs when I was 10. We don't know. I also did Pilates. Pilates is absolutely fantastic for your body and it helps people who are having back pain. So I highly recommend Pilates. However, if you're doing it for your tailbone is just such a difficult place to target that I don't think Pilates helped my tailbone. It helped other parts of my body. I think it helps target muscles that you don't even know exist. It helps get you toned and strong and flexible, but not necessarily for your tailbone. I also tried Shockwave twice on my tailbone. That didn't have any results. Maybe it would have if I kept up with it more. I did Shockwave on my feet, and that actually cured my plantar fasciitis. I also tried donut-shaped pillows that people say is really good for tailbone pain. It didn't help me personally, but I do recommend giving it a try. You honestly have nothing to lose. So I tried pretty much everything you can imagine. Ice, heat, I think ice helped a little bit, but ultimately time is all I needed. So I just wanted to make this video because there was very little information on tailbone pain in pregnancy when I was looking this up in 2022. The one thing I didn't try was a cortisone shot. I had a doctor recommend that, and to me I felt like a cortisone shot would be masking the pain. However, I thoroughly believe that all it took for my tailbone to heal was time, so perhaps masking it would have been okay. Or maybe I could have damaged it more. I don't know. So that's something to look into. In my personal experience, just learning how to cope with the pain and trying to avoid sitting was ideal. So if you're someone that works a desk job, make sure that you get a really comfortable chair. I did invest in an Aeron chair. And I also invested in an Aeron desk that you can, it's motorized and you can make it stand, and then you can also make it sit. So a standing desk is absolutely fantastic if your tailbone is hurting. So that way you can work, be on your computer, and not have to sit. I also wanted to talk about my experience having a second child after hurting my tailbone the first time around. So one of my fears was I really wanted to have more children, so I was really excited to get pregnant a second time, but I was so nervous about what that would mean for my back. And I had a doctor look at my scan and say, maybe you'll break your tailbone with another baby, and maybe you should consider a C-section, which was absolutely horrifying to think of. That doctor was not very good. But I just wanted to offer some hope because my experience was fantastic the second time around. So I remember around the 1 year mark, my tailbone was still hurting, but by 14 months, I don't remember any pain. And then I got pregnant with my second child 15 months, when my son was 15 months old. And at that point, I didn't have any pain. And it's not like I was waiting to get pregnant till the pain went away. That's just how it ended up working out. I had zero tailbone pain throughout my pregnancy. I had other pain, but not tailbone pain, so that was good. I did a lot of research to find out how can I prevent my tailbone from being damaged again with this next delivery. So I met with a pelvic floor physical therapist again, and she's in Tampa, so if you want her information, I can add her info below. And she did some research looking up birth positions, and we came to the conclusion that similar to what I wanted to do the first time around, the best positions to deliver are on all fours or upright. So whether that be squatting or kneeling and using a bar. I delivered with the USF Midwives at Tampa General Hospital. Absolutely fantastic for anyone in the area. Before going into labor, I was praying every single day that I would go into labor early in the day because I didn't want to be so exhausted in the middle of the night like I was the first time around. So I'm very grateful that around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I started getting contractions, labored at home for 2 or 3 hours. My water broke, went to the hospital really quickly. Within 20 minutes, my daughter was born. It was a fantastic delivery experience. Couldn't have been better. I highly recommend to anyone watching this right now. Obviously, you can't control what time of day you go into labor, but you can make sure that you're well rested. So take lots of naps, go to bed on time. That was one thing that I did wrong the first time around. I just didn't know how well rested I needed to be. Also, make sure that you're eating well. It drives me crazy to see influencers get McDonald's or Chick-fil-A on the way to the hospital. Like, this is a massive event. You need to nourish your body and eat good whole foods if you want to have a good delivery. I showed up at the hospital, went through triage. I was 9 centimeters, handed them my birth plan. I just had a couple sentences listed. Like, I don't want the hep block. I don't want any medication, don't want any intervention, and I want to deliver upright. And so they wheeled me in really quickly because I was very close. Like, I felt like I had to push. They wheeled me into the room. We got the gown on, and immediately I said, I'm ready to go. Logistically, how are we going to do this upright? The midwife I was working with was fantastic. She put this bar on the bed that allowed me to be on my knees, and then I was able to hold on to this bar. I think I put my head down like that, and it took, I don't know, 2 pushes. We had classical music going. By this point, it was golden hour. It was 7 o'clock, looking over Tampa Bay. And I think being upright also really helped gravity do its thing. Another thing that I wanted to note is when I was in labor, I did not lay down. I was tired, wanted to rest, but I made sure that I was upright the whole time so gravity could do a lot of the work, which I think helped facilitate a dream delivery. If you want me to make a birth video, let me know and I can share all of my tips and my birth experience because it truly, it was magical. It couldn't have been better. My tailbone was sore for maybe a week, but it was absolutely nothing compared to what I had been through with my first delivery. So I just want to encourage anyone who has experienced tailbone pain when delivering. It does get better. Just let time do its course, treat your body well, eat well, and hopefully with subsequent births, hopefully you won't have pain. I think a lot of it comes down to birth position. So again, You want to be upright. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I will get back to you because I want to help people. Bye, everyone.